Okay, let's go add some inventory. The very first step to this is to make sure that when you're creating your products that you enable inventory. So that happens when you first create your product. So go to Dashboard, Store, Products, and when you add product and we scroll down, the Track Inventory toggle is here. So you'd want to make sure to toggle that. And now we see the inventory policy here. If you click back order, that means that once the inventory hits 0, then you will be able to sell into the negative. If you click don't sell, it means that once the inventory gets to 0, it will show as sold out. So once your SKUs are set to track inventory, go back to the inventory page, and that's under store, and then now we go to inventory. And here we are. So let's take a look at the heading here. We have the product, the SKU, the location name, whether inventory is on or off. And let's talk about these next 3 headings here. So available for sale means that it is in fact available for sale and people will be able to purchase them. Reserve, if you are using compliance, for instance, ship compliant, then the numbers that will be reflected here are bottles that have been sold but have not yet passed compliance. If you do not use a compliance service, then the reserve is not used. However, what you can do if you would like is transfer inventory from available for sale over into reserve if you, for instance, would like to save some inventory for an upcoming event. But do note that before you can actually sell it, you'll need to retransfer them back from reserve over to available for sale. And then we have allocated. Allocated are those bottles that have been sold but have not been fulfilled or picked up yet. And once they are fulfilled or picked up, then they leave the inventory system altogether. Here we have the policy for this particular SKU. And again, back order means that once the inventory hits 0, that this particular SKU can sell into the negative. But as we scroll down, we see one down here that says don't sell, because we're going to be completely out of those and we cannot be selling into the negative on that one. And then we have notification, and that means that you will be notified if the inventory is getting low. Okay, and let's take a look down here. You'll see that we have the 2015 cab, and we see it 3 times because it has inventory at 3 different locations, or did at one time. So we have the admin and club location, we have the web location, and we have the tasting room location. It looks like only the tasting room location has any bottles for sale at this point. So let's click into this one so we can see what it looks like. Up here at a glance, we see kind of what's going on with this particular SKU. Down here, there are several processes that we can do. So let's talk about each of them. So if you want to reset inventory, that's if you have large amounts that you just simply want to reset. Let's click on that guy. And what you would do here is, let's say you found, I don't know, another 100 bottles in the cellar. You could just come here and reset the available sale count to 220. Or maybe you have an upcoming event and you'd like to save some on reserve and not sell them. So we could do 200 here and then 20 here. So resetting is when you are completely resetting the inventory. It's not just a bottle or 2. It's, you're resetting the entire thing. We could also adjust inventory. And adjusting is for small amounts. So, plus a bottle here, minus 5 bottles here, plus 6 bottles there, that sort of thing. So maybe someone forgot that they had taken some samples to an event. So in that case, you could come here and say, oh, actually we have 6 bottles fewer than we thought we did. So you can make an adjustment that way. You can transfer inventory. So you remember we had all the bottles in the tasting room for this particular Cabernet, but maybe we want to take some from the tasting room and then transfer those over into the web location so that we can do a special web offering. So in that case, let's take it from the tasting room, available for sale. Let's transfer it over to our web location to available for sale. And then amount, let's do 20 bottles. And let's go ahead and transfer that and see what it looks like real quick. So there you are. We have now 20 fewer from the tasting room, and now we have 20 bottles available in our web location. So heading back in here again, let's go down to turn inventory off. If you want to turn it off completely, you can do that here. Click inventory off. Next down here we have adjust inventory policy, and again this is the policy of either setting it to back order if it gets down to 0 or to don't sell if it gets down to 0. And then adjust inventory notification. If you want to be notified when your inventory is getting low, click on that, and then you can define who it's going to, as well as how low do you want it to get before that person is notified. And that is about it for inventory management. Let us know if you have any questions at all.